Hi, Starseeds. How are you guys doing? I hope everyone's doing well. I'm driving through Pennsylvania. It's absolutely beautiful, so lots of love to everyone in Pennsylvania. So I'm going to talk about shifting into the next parallel universe, what to expect when you start to see beyond the 5th and 6th, 7th dimension to the 12th dimension. My experiences are a little bit different than others, and then some similar. Everything is pastels, so I guess you could say that's the 5th dimension. When you walk outside, colors, pastel, light, the light spectrums from all vibrations, molecules, pretty much everything in the air, the atmosphere, the trees. The trees look pastel. So purple and blue and pink. You can see the light spectrums on the tree. I mean, it is absolutely beautiful. I'm sharing this experience of what it actually looks like when you start crossing over to higher harmonic universes, to the 5th dimension and higher. Once you cross over to the parallel universe, you will be face to face with your star family. Now, they're etheric. Some of them are. They're etheric for the beginning process. And then you actually can see them in full physical form. Physical as in non-etheric. I'm going to say that correctly. You should be able to see them standing right in front of you. Okay? Possibly filling up your whole room. Passing through, you can say it's a gate if you want to. There's different gates for different collectives, and so it depends on what path you want to take, what harmonic universe you want to go to, what parallel universe, multiverses, what do you want to access. I believe that every collective, because you have the New Earth, you have the Golden Age, you have Lemuria, and so on and so on. To me, I think these are collective parallel universes to different pathways of manifestation of creation to the next level of humanity. That's how I'm going to put it. To walking into higher vibration, higher frequencies, higher consciousness states of living. So it should be normal to see a Arcturian standing in front of you, or a Lyran. Now it could be your higher self, or it could be your star family. I see feline humanoids. They look crystallized and white, and they're definitely my star family. They come from different orders too. Now I'm able to see myself So the majority of the time, I see myself as my multi-dimensional aspects. I have an Andromedan, of course, and I also have different higher selves that come in. So it's shape-shifting all the time. You start to shape-shift a lot too. You can say my highest is a feline humanoid. My highest, as far as the Lyran Council goes, more of the leadership is more masculine. And he stands in front of me a lot, but he will multidimensionally intertwine with me, and I'm used to shifting into this being. So they'll walk in front of you for a while and telepathically communicate through your eye until you actually can see them in front of you. Location, it depends on where they're coming from. So there's biolocation, and some of them will come through elevators in time. Different types of teleportation, kind of looks like windows that they're coming through. These are ones that come through different, I want to explain it the best that I can. Through, they come from ships. So this is how they come to communicate with me, through ships, and that's what they explain. Now I can walk onto the ship, it's fine. I can always access it or walk in, but they will teleport through, it looks like an elevator, and that's why I call it the elevator, but it's like a teleportation elevator. And they'll come, and it's a projection screen. Okay? And it is, yeah, I know. It's through different types of crystal consciousness, if that makes sense at all. I know, it's hard to put into earth words what exactly it is. So these are different ways that they'll come in and communicate with you. And then you'll see them physically, in physical form. And that's when you know that you're passing over to the next parallel universe, is when you actually start to see them in front of you. You'll start seeing everything change. Light spectrums, when you walk outside, everything is vibrant pastel colors. You most likely will never be able to drive at night again. You might not be able to drive ever again, actually, when you start hitting certain quantum levels. The next thing is where you will start picking up on parallel universes, but let's say what you think is the past is the future. Futuristic. Okay. I see ships. You would think it looks futuristic, right? Our future, let's say like in the 4000s or 7000s, or ancient civilizations, different types of ancient civilization structures. So that's going to be another step, is that you'll actually be able to see these different types of cities. Mount Shasta is one of them. There's people that, you say you can actually walk in to Lemuria, or to a totally different dimension of Earth. It's actually very real. So it's beautiful and amazing to access these points, right? Now the human is not going to understand these changes. Your body is going to change. You should be able to see vibrations and molecules and electrons. And I'm talking about, I've been seeing it since I woke up, and it looks like sparkle crystallization, but it's energy. Okay, but the way that I see it, I see something a little bit different. I see crystallization everywhere, but I also can see density. I never really saw attachments and entities and stuff like that. I saw something always completely a little bit different until I started to see a little bit more, and then I started to see recently attachments. But my higher self, one of my guardians, will always go and put me back into, and says, okay, we're going to put you back into your, we call it the crystal kingdom. So they'll put me back into the crystal kingdom, because I'm like, I'm not supposed to see this type of stuff. So I'm only supposed to see my crystallization. So you can see crystallization. I see it on people. I can see it as fully crystallized. I can usually see where you're from, what humanoid, what race are you from, what star system you're from, because I'll be able to see your face morph and shift. So us morphing and shifting into our multidimensionals is a next step is normal. Okay, so it's been happening to me for about 7 or 8 years. Seeing other people's faces morph and shift. Okay, so because of belief systems here, you have to change your belief systems. Okay, and that's another thing that I realized, is that a lot of people might be seeing people shift, and it could be their feline humanoid or reptilian race or matrix. We call it the matrix children too. Yeah, different types of Arcturians. There's all different types of beings. You could see slits in people's eyes too, so I want to talk about that too. So they're not evil and all the crap that we're programmed with, or demonic or anything like that. You actually could be seeing the starseed race where they're from. You could see the angelic race where they're from, the indigo, the crystal. It all depends on what you're going to see. Okay, sometimes you can see attachments, but you can help them get rid of it if you're a healer. It's important that I explain this to people, because I feel like that we're programmed with such negativity and such programming with demons and demonics and etc. All that crap. I call it shit, because to me it is. Because you could be seeing something of a starseed from Sirius, okay, or a Lyran, or a half Lyran, half Syrian morph right in front of your face, okay? I mean, there's bug races too, okay? Insect races too. There's wolf. There's people that are wolves, like literally half wolves. They could be half wolves, half lizard. I don't know, but you can actually see their starseed races, or you could see all kinds of different things as they're shifting, okay? So I feel like you have to clear your belief systems of judgment, and you also got to clear your belief systems of the control system that is here too as well. Because you could be seeing something so beautiful and putting such a judgment to it. I did. Because when I was shown, as soon as I woke up, I was shown my Andromedan higher self, which is a feline humanoid. It looks like an avatar. I was shown it, and I freaked out, of course, because of my programming from this system. And I was like, great, but it's a feline humanoid. Absolutely beautiful, violet crystallization, beautiful hair, kind of like dreads. I'm absolutely beautiful, and I thought of horrid because of the belief systems that we have here. Christianity and the heaven and hell bullcrap. Which is, it's an order of control. No offense to everyone, but it is, okay? It's fine. I love Yeshua. I channel Yeshua all the time. But I was able to see this side of me as a starseed of who I am, okay? I'm a very tall being, amazing at footwork with the legs. And I freaked out and automatically went into fear. So I'm explaining this to you, so if you actually start seeing yourself for who you are, okay? And you start thinking that you're thinking negative about yourself. Kind of change your perception and realize that we are programmed not to remember who we are, okay? So hopefully this will help somebody out there. I have all different types of multidimensional aspects of me. I speak ancient Babylonian Sumerian, so I'm obviously pretty old. Andromedan, so I'm really, really old, but I'm a lot older than that too. I'm not from this universe either. I've been stationed in different places. I'm definitely feline humanoid for sure, but I do have different multidimensional aspects of, I guess you could say, a reptilian, but most of us all have reptilian DNA, different types. Not all of us, but the majority of us do. Yeah, the lizard people. There's some really beautiful lizard beings, and I've met a lot of them on my journey. Star seeds and indigos and crystals that are beautiful lizard beings, and I just laugh because I'm like, oh, they're a lizard, and I wonder if they know. But a lot of people aren't awake, so I just sit there and I admire them because I can see what they are. Okay, so it's beautiful sitting and chatting, and they have rainbow auras too as well. Now everyone is multidimensional, so you can have like every strand to the star seed has a different aspect. Okay. Yeah. So I wanted to share this as you start shifting over into parallel universes and you start shifting over into the fifth dimension and higher, and what to expect and what to see. Okay, so I believe clearing belief systems is huge. Activating your DNA strands is very important. Learning how to do it yourself. Activating your crystalline DNA strands, at least the first 12. There's a lot more DNA strands than that, and I've explained that. It depends on what root race you come from. We have new root races that are coming in too. I have a lot of downloads from new root races from the future. Different types of events that will be happening later on in the future. With a little bit more, they pretty much come and train me from higher harmonic universes, from the 4,000, 7,000 experiences, but not 100% yet. Okay, so I'm not going to say yes to that yet. Because in dream state, I do a lot more as far as teleportation. Everything is processed because you don't want to shock the system. But as far as them coming to me, their vehicles are amazing to observe. Even their frequencies and their tones, and being able their teachings are beyond, they give everything, it's beyond what you can even imagine, but everything is through blueprints. Every single thing is like, it looks like blueprints, but it's like a telepathic, how do you say it, like a telepathic communication blueprint download that just comes in, and they just show me everything through active walking around, not through meditation at all, not like sitting still. That's not how we work. They're like, this is, just look, boom, 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 like everything is very quantum and light speed. And they'll say, and and communicate with me. They showed me all types of stuff. This is the system. This is the right system. They're very adamant. The ones in the future, the ones that I talk to in the higher humanic universe, are very adamant about the Christic system, the Christic Merkaba system. If I'm going to say this right, it is a universal Akashic, a Bioveca diamond Merkaba vehicle. If you're able to read history as far as the Voyagers books 1 and 2 by Miss Dean and her the 3 CDT, or is it CDT speakers. I call her Ashwanadine. I love her. But they're very, very like strict on Metatronic reversals and all kinds of stuff where they're like, you need to please make sure that we're always looking. This is the system that you're looking at. Okay. So I'm like, okay. So I sit there with these teachings with them, and I'm like, okay. So the teachings that I did have, they'll pretty much show me their light body and what does it look like, and different sacred geometries. I know, like, it just so much comes through from them, but the most beautiful process is, I'm going to say, is them when I can see them standing in front of me. Okay, now I have beautiful blue beings that are Andromedans, and they're always around me, and I can stand just right in front of them and talk to them all the time. So this becomes normal, and I could always see them when I first woke up, and that was like in 2013, and they would play with me with light bulbs and all kinds of stuff and try to keep me happy. So I was always seeing into this, but I see like the crystal, I see the crystalline. It's like everything is etherically crystal, like the blueprints, the light bodies, and it's just beyond what you can even imagine what you're going to see. It's like universes and galaxies is literally what you're looking at of these beautiful beings, and then you can actually see them. So if you shift into certain sacred geometry through footwork, you can actually learn how to teleport to be able to see them, and like full on like physical, and to see them clearly instead of just like in the etheric form. So I want to speak about this just in case you actually see them come up to you. That is your doorway in your passageway that's opening up right now for you to realize you're going into the next universe. So you have activated your DNA in your light bodies, and you're obviously doing an amazing job if you're actually starting to see them and you're able to cross over. You want to cross over, but of course we have to clear all of our fear programming and pretty much the virus of the system is what I say. Yeah, the heart center is the power of the whole vehicle. The heart center itself is conscious sacred geometry, crystal grid, crystal chambers. I mean, it's beyond what you can even imagine, that everything needs to activate and to come fully online. And then we have stargates. So we have different, you have the Tree of Life stargates too that you can activate, and you can walk through and talk to them. I walk through and talk to them all the time. I talk to the Guardian Alliance all the time, and I stand in front of them, and I'm able to see them. I can see Andromedans. They're huge beings, and then there's all kinds of different other beings too. There's one that looks like Chewie from Star Wars, and I talk to him a lot. He stands like in my house. He's huge. And then different Lyrans too as well. huge, huge lion beings. And they're huge. They're like 20, 30 feet. The ones that I see are. And then there's bigger ones. So when you start seeing this, don't be scared, because that means that you're seeing into the next universe. Okay? Now there's all different types of universes. Yeah, it's pretty much your conscious creation, so in a sense, it's your universe. You can walk through different collectives to go in different doors if you want to. It's your vehicle, it's your ship. You can go wherever you want. If you want, you can walk right onto Eartha. You can walk into Terra. You can walk into Gaia. You can learn how to walk into the third harmonic universe. You can learn how to walk into the fourth and the fifth harmonic universe. You just need to open your heart center, activate your stargate, and learn how to walk into these sacred places, into these higher dimensions. It's mostly higher harmonic universes. I do teach this. Hopefully one day I'll have a place big enough where I will have people come and I'll teach you guys how to just walk in. And be like, oh, hi. Can you see it? Can you see yet? Okay. I see better in the dark. So I see more like with my cat eyes. I call them the cat eyes. So I work more in the dark, but I can see during the day too. It takes time. Yeah. So you should be able to learn how to walk through. You can walk through the earth grids into the higher harmonic universe too. So you can go and talk to the other root races here and the other councils that are here too. So eventually, I mean, we are here we start off where we start off in the prison system, and it isn't a quarantine. Okay. For the next harmonic universe, activate your light bodies, your different light bodies, activate your DNA. Okay, yeah, so pretty much you're building and constructing your Merkaba vehicle. You can start walking into the next dimension. To the 5th dimension, and 6th dimension, 7th dimension, all the way up to the 12th, the 15th. I've walked into the 16th. I have a high angelic, 16th dimensional angelic that came in. I know his name. He's awesome. He's amazing. He came in right away, and he's from the 16th dimension, so I was like, oh, this is cool. And then the 17th dimension and the 18th dimension, I was moved up to the 22 and to the 44. I have brought in so much for all of you guys, all my soul groups, and just anchoring it in, upgrading myself, activating and doing things that I probably shouldn't do, but it's to see if it works, right? To anchor in this template. So, my Lyran higher self is laughing at me. He's like, you do things that we're just like, where are you going? I do it to see if I can anchor it in, if I can bring in the frequencies, if I can bring in the plasma frequencies. So it's kind of like pushing the limits, if you want to say, to bring in new light bodies, new plasma strands, new DNA for all of you, for the planet, of course, and pretty much for the whole universe in itself. Universes, multiverses. So the next step is going to be realizing that you are a universe. Each one of you are all individually a universe. So these are things that you're going to have to activate and to remember in your heart and in your mind. I'm going to talk just a little bit. I'm doing a workshop on January 22nd. It is quantum flow. So whatever comes through, comes through. When I say quantum, it's I don't know what's going to come through. I'm not putting order and structure to any of my workshops. What comes in, comes in. I do have beings from the higher harmonic universes that will be coming in to help teach. High angelic human races that I communicate with that will be there and be present from the 4,000s all the way to what? 7,000. Okay? This is going to be Merkaba training, programming, learning how to consciously create your reality, etc., whatever comes through. Different types of teaching. It's going to be active teaching. So when I say active, means you're going to be up and walking around, because I'm going to teach you how to be more active and be a little bit more quantum speed. And there will be light language transmission, of course, for different upgrades that comes in. So I just sent it through on all my members on my website. So if you want to come, please come and join. I really would like more starseeds to join my workshops. You'll also be learning telepathic communication with your higher selves, different types of techniques for telepathic learning, pretty much breaking through your barriers of your 3D human self. Once you realize that they've been telepathically communicating with you the whole time, then you'd be like, oh my God, okay, now I get it. They do things in different types of ways, and also through picture. So picture is probably the best. I'll also be teaching you how to walk into different star systems, Sirius B, Andromeda. What is the other council that's coming through? Yeah, there's the Pegasus Council is coming through too. So it's like, I'm just naming some star systems. Vega, we could go to Vega. It all depends on where we're going. We could go try different universes. But I'm going to be teaching how to just walk in. Ta-da! Through your Merkaba vehicle. So I just want to do a briefing on that, on the workshop that I'm going to be doing. It's important because of it's the evolution of the starseeds, the indigos, and the crystals. Okay? As far as where are we going, where are we moving to, and the evolution process of our abilities. Okay? I'm heading into New York City. I love you guys, all the star family in New York City. I'll be back around. I'm gonna do a transmission, hopefully in Central Park. So I'm really excited. But I'm passing through right now. So hello to everybody in Jersey and New York and all my clients. I love you guys very much. Eventually I will get across the world too. I want to help with children. That's one of my biggest things. So I'll get there eventually. All right. So we're going to talk about, I know, I hear you. I'm going to do a briefing, 1 second, on the evolution of the human race, of where we're moving to, and just touch base on sacred unions. You can call it twin flames if you want to, soulmates. Telecommunication is definitely more advanced. I speak of different sacred unions that I've had in different ancient times here on this planet before the fall, where me and my other half, if you want to say, call it soulmate, higher partner, sacred union, we actually could telepathically communicate to each other through our bodies. We could basically walk in the same body if we were separated. One I had here before the fall, which was Sacred Union, lasted for about 1,000 years too, as well, where we had the immortality code. I can say he, that's like it's a neutral being, would go on and off planet. This is when the gates were open and could travel. And I would be here or elsewhere. It depends on where we were stationed at. And we could always communicate through the consciousness of our field, okay? And telepathically communicate, but it's not a walk-in, it's a joint union in the same Merkaba vehicle, and there was no separation between us. It could come in and out through etheric form, but communicating through one vessel, okay? And translocation, of course, and other advanced abilities too as well. Yes, connecting our consciousness together as in one consciousness. So two soul lights, if you want to say, two advanced soul beings, two beings connecting the consciousness together, which is considered the twin flame union, okay? The sacred union, the God self union, okay? So these are different things that I do express in my workshop. We should be able to communicate with each other eventually without cell phones and computers and electronics and all that stuff later on into the future. Everything will be through telepathy. So it's beautiful to experience this and telepathically communicating through the heart center to each other. Now, beings do this, and I do this with all different types of celestial beings, star beings, and elementals through my heart center. So this is where we will be moving to as well, and you can call it godlike gifts. So this is it, and I love you guys, and I'm going to get off here, and I'll be bringing in more transmissions for you. And I hope that you have a wonderful evening and full moon experience.